Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon, and welcome to another Elevation Moments. We want to get into some conversations on today. And so go out there and care, share, and like and share this video, this live with those people that can get something out of. Today is a coaching moment, and we're going to get into some topics because we're getting to the end of the season where, the end of the year, where people, places, and things start taking on different avenues of researching and stuff, and getting ready to plan events and things of that nature. And so today, this week we want to tap into some true coaching moments. We appreciate all of you that continue to support and to share and, help us push forward with Victoria Elevates. There's a lot of things that we have in place. There's a lot of things that's getting ready to transition, a lot of things that we're getting ready to upgrade to. And so we appreciate all of you, all of those of you that have over the last several years have supported us. We've gone through some transitions over the years. And so, I'm always grateful. We started off on one level, and then as God has transitioned us, we moved to different places, and so we're excited about where we're going right now in this season. I have been posting some things, and several people have been commenting on it, like, what does that mean? Because I use the phrase "in spite of," because, we as people in general never know what anybody else is going through at a specific given time. And so I always want to leave the door open, if you will, because in spite of what you are going through on today, in spite of what the circumstances may look like for you on today, I want you to keep in mind that this is not the end, and it's always a door of opportunity. The thing is, you have to have certain things in place where you can understand how valuable we are in a season, right? Because a lot of times we as individuals, we get caught up in all of the hoopla of things and the shenanigans of the world and the shenanigans of people, places, and things that we're associated with, which leaves us and keeps us sabotaging in a different area. So with Victoria Elevates, we have evolved over the last couple of years, and we're going to evolve every chance that we get, because I look at what is happening around us, the people, places, and things are around us. But then I tap back into that personal development in you, right? As a certified professional achievement facilitator, I am a certified licensed, certified master life coach. I have certifications in various other avenues. But one of the key things is being able to be transparent to what is taking place right now in this season at this time. And one of the things that we as individuals sometimes tend to do is forget the most important thing, ourselves. And so with Victoria Elevates, we look at those things, because if you haven't recognized and if you don't understand, let me tell you who we are, right? Victoria Elevates aside with elevated, not tolerated, because elevated, not tolerated means to rise above anything and everything that has held us down and has caused us to feel inadequate. But my friends, with you and I together, now, see, that's the key. With you and I together, we rise above those things, right? Because you have to be in a place, right? But with you and I together, we rise above all of that, right? Because it is time for us to be empowered, embraced, and educated to be elevated and not tolerated. Because sometimes we forget the most important keys: being empowered, being embraced, and educated. And what that means is going to the tap root and looking at some things, doing some behind the scenes research, which is what we do. We just don't present something. We give you some research behind it. Let me just encourage you that the views that you see on here, and you'll see more of, our disclaimer, the views, the things that you see here is based on my research. It's based on things that I have researched and looked through. And let's keep that into a tune. That includes the Bible. That includes Google University. That includes blah, 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 blah. blah, 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 blah. The information we give to you is something that you can have, you can review at your own leisure, that you can go back and you yourself can tap into to know what fits your lane, right? So this is the thing. Many times we miss the boat of what someone is saying or what someone is giving is because we're stuck into a certain area of our own mindset that we don't get out of, right? We have got to learn, we as people in general have to learn to open our minds just a little bit and clarify what it flows with you, right? I don't always say that I have the best solution, but I am a certified master life coach. I am a licensed elder. I have three beautiful birth children that I have. I have, so I think I can tell you a little bit about some things. How about that? But at the same token, there's things that you also can give to me that I may need help with. There's things that you can provide to me that I need strength in. And that's the reason why we do certain things together. That's the reason why we go to a place in our mindsets where we understand that it takes a village for a lot of things, y'all. It takes a whole village. And so today, I want to tap into a very sensitive topic in some cases. And I want to first, before I get into that, I want to thank those of you that joined us on Sunday night. As we talked about the before, during, and after with COVID in the church community, we didn't have any leaders that came on the show, which was a little disappointing for me. I was the only leader in the show. How about that? But it's okay because I understand everybody was waiting for the football game. Hello, how you doing? Because I was watching the football game afterwards. I did my show and two other shows on Sunday night and had to catch a lot of my favorite team. I had to catch the Cowboys on a different level, if you will. But it's okay, guys. We ain't hating, we participating and all that good stuff, right? But at the same token, I want to thank those that did, that were able to at least comment on the show with me on Sunday night. That was very helpful for me to see that some people were interested and were giving some feedback to what was going on in the atmosphere, which always plays into a conversation, because a conversation is between two people. Like right now, I'm doing the podcast. I'm having a conversation, but I'm having a conversation with you out in virtual land. But it still means that I'm still going to do what I got to do. Can I be honest with you? Stick to your guns. Stick to what you know. Make yourself aware of that. Everything that you do has a purpose, right? I don't believe any person on God's green earth didn't come in here with a purpose. I believe God has designed all of us for a purpose-given life. And so I just want us to always be willing, if you will, to do so. So again, we want to kind of tap into some things with some people, places, and things that's going on right now. Kind of waiting for a couple of people to show up that said that, hey, I want to be a part of the conversation today, because I do believe it's important for people to, join us in conversation. But if they don't, I'm gonna give you the best that I got. All right, how about that? So one of the things that so today's topic is collaboration versus conspiracy, and many of you may know that we in the past have actually done a show, a conference called that very thing, collaboration versus conspiracy. We actually did that. We didn't do it in 23. We took a break from all of our, if you would say, annual conferences, but we did that for a reason. We wanted to regroup our thoughts, our processes, and things that we wanted to make sure that we dealt with in 23. But we will be going back to doing the collaboration versus conspiracy conference in 24. We have set the date. Let me say that. Again, we have set the date for the Collaboration versus Conspiracy Conference. If you have a desire to be a part of the conference as a speaker, as a part of our panelists, there will be some information going out that you can go ahead and register to be a part of it. We had an amazing time. We had a lot of people that were on the panel that gave insight and inspiration. It gave clarity to people that were dealing with collaborating and knowing the ins and outs with that, because we feel it's important that people understand it, right? So we're talking about collaboration versus conspiracy today. I want to give you, from a coaching standpoint, I want to give you some pros and cons. I always try to give you at least 3 points that you can follow through with, some 3 points. Hey, Miss Carrie, thanks for so much for joining. I want to give you some points that you can utilize. And when you're talking about collaboration versus conspiracy, like I said, in 24, we will be bringing the collaboration versus conspiracy conference back, because it's important that we put the minds together and have a conversation. Again, it's important when you bring same mindset people to the table that can actually talk about some things and be able to gather our thoughts together. Miss Carrie and I think we're good collaborators. We're working on some things behind the scenes that you might want to be looking for in 24. But when I tell you it's important that you have the right mindset and the right reason for collaborating. Collaborating can be a positive tool in the business industry, if you will, but collaboration can be also an amazing experience no matter what the organization that you're dealing with. Collaboration in churches, I'm big with that. I believe in people being able to connect together with people in different arenas. Your church is no better than my church, so we collaborate together to enhance what the process is, because collaboration means we're looking at things together. We're bringing our views together, and we're doing it for the better of the cause. And so if we're collaborators, we're doing it for the greater cause, right? And that's what I want us to continue to emphasize, and I want us to continue to work on going into 24. So collaboration has a lot of pros and cons. And please jump in at any point with me. There's 3 points that I want to talk about as far as what the good things is about collaborating, because there's a whole host of them that we will talk about in the conference in 2024 that we'll bring to the table. We have some questions already prepared for those people that will be panelists for the collaboration conference. You do not want to miss it. I promise you. You want to go ahead and get your tickets. You want to be able to sit in the seat, and you'll be able to hear what is going to be brought forth with that, right? So there's 3 things that we want to talk about today when we're talking about the pros of collaboration versus conspiracy. The first thing that we want to talk about is diverse perspectives, right? And what that means is that, we can emphasize how we as individuals bring to the table different things. Because when you emphasize the wealth of diverse perspectives and that collaboration brings, it encourages individuals to value the unique strengths and weakness and viewpoints of the team members. So if I have a panel of individuals that's on the collaboration panel, I'm bringing these strengths and their views together. I'm bringing forth some things that can help us understand even greater. Hey, Coach K, thanks for joining and watching. We definitely appreciate you, my lifetime friend. When I tell you that when one of the key things for collaboration is bringing people together that have strong viewpoints, right? And that they're unique in their self. I always say that one of my key things about myself is that I'm extremely unique. I'm different from everybody. I like to say that I'm different from everybody else. I have my own separate tune of music that I play to. I listen to my own voice sometimes. I listen to the voice of God all the time, in spite of what people think. But I do listen. I may not always obey, but I do listen. Now, let's be honest. We all have our flaws, right? But when you bring in people together on as a collaborative team, you are encouraging each one's strength and weaknesses, right? Miss Carrie is in the music industry, so when I collaborate with her, I'm bringing in the prospect of what music does into what I'm working on, my projects. I'm having a workshop in a couple of weeks, in January 20th. We're having a workshop. There's some reasons why I may want some music brought into that, or why the musical industry may be a part of that. Well, I will go out and I would talk to Miss Carrie, because she is a manager. She has clientele that she's raising up into the music industry, that I may want to understand how I can bring in those aspects of those people. Coach K is another fellow coach. She's a mindset coach. Well, I want to bring in the journey in life, because there's some pieces to whatever I am developing. I want to have some other people that have strengths in it, right? So when you're talking about having a collaboration, you want to bring people to the table that can actually give strength and give strong points to people that are viewing you, that are part of that collaboration. When you're doing a book collaboration, I've done several of those. When you're doing a book collaboration, you want to have people that's in the collaboration that has the same strengths, the same viewpoints that can empower other people. When you don't have, and you want different people from different aspects, because everybody has, okay, let me say this nicely. Everybody has an opinion. I was going to say something else, but everybody has a lot of, back there, everybody has one. And sometimes that's good, to bring in good aspects of that, right? So at the end of the day, when you're bringing people together, you're bringing in people that have strong views and opinions that can help us. Hey, Pastor Sheena, my girl in the house. Thank you for being with me, Pastor. I definitely appreciate you, my lifetime friend as well. But when you're doing a collaboration, and I'm glad she came in, as pastors, as leaders, when we bring in people on panels and in conferences, if you will, we're bringing people that can actually produce a different viewpoint. Hello, my friends from Club. The Club Cheetahs is in the house on this afternoon. Welcome, my dear friends. I'm going to have you on the show. We're going to have to talk offline so I can bring you on the show. But when I tell you that it's important, as we as individuals, when we're having different events, when we're doing different things, that you bring in diversity. You bring in these people. You bring in individuals that can give value and strength, right? I can't stress that enough. If you're doing something collaborative, just like with the Club Cheetah, with her group, with the group that she has, I joined the group because she's bringing a diversified group of people together that can enhance each other. That's the reason why I joined the group. I thought it was unique how not only the name of the group, but what I believe the group stands for is bringing different diverse people together to give some insight and give encouragement and give what I talk about: empowerment, embracing each other, and educating each other. It's important in collaboration. Let me tell you the second point that we want to talk about that is a pro when we're talking about collaboration versus conspiracy. When you're talking about enhancing the creativity of the program, the collaboration that you're doing, when you bring people together, when you're bringing individuals together, one of the things is that you're highlighting the role of the collaboration and fostering creativity. What does that mean? I'm glad you asked. As a coach, I like to bring in people that have different aspects. You bring in an artist, you bring in a musician, you bring in a coach, you bring in a pastor, you bring in a leader. When you can step outside of your box and bring creative people to the table and allow them to stretch forth in that, you discuss how bouncing ideas off of others can spark new insights and inspire innovative approaches. When you bring people with different skills and knowledge and wisdom. You bring to the table people that can spark some things. There's some things when I plan my events that I have a young lady that I work with, and when she and I talk about the upcoming event in January 20th, when we talk about that, we get excited because I'm bouncing ideas and she's bouncing things back to me. Sometimes you got to have the right people on your team, and that's a whole nother show that we'll talk about. But at the end of the day, when you bring people in, it encourages when you engage in the brainstorming process. Some of us have to go back and reevaluate why we're doing this collaboration. What is the connection I have with you? One of the things that we talk about in the positive self-building class when we're talking about building positive relationship is, why are you in my day? Why are you in my life? Why? Because there are some people that when you break away from the normativity, okay, y'all got it. I'm going back to some of my t-shirts. When you break up the normativity in people's lives, one of the things that happens is some people will either get it or some people will disengage from you. It's okay if people disengage from you. Can I be honest with you? When the time has gotten to the point and you have grown and you understand your process, when you understand who you are, people will leave you. When people, Pastor Sheena, when we get to a point where we have outgrown certain people in ministry, sometimes, and it's not about, oh, I'm bigger than you or better than you. Sometimes God is pushing us to another level where when you get to the point that you have outgrown some things, look, this is the thing. When you in elementary school, when you are in elementary school, when you went to kindergarten, you didn't stay in kindergarten. You were upgraded once you passed certain tests. You were upgraded to the first grade. You were upgraded to the second grade, and so forth and so on. Even when you got to the college level, you began to enhance what you knew because people were bouncing off. What do you want to be when you grow up? Well, I don't know about you. There was a lot of things that I wanted to be when I grew up. But at the end of the day, because of sitting around positive people, and let me encourage you to get with some positive people, because sometimes people can continuously give you negativity and not even understand it. You got to be around that thing that is going to help. Okay, my students, where are you at? If you are in the house, this is the thing. You got to be willing to understand what growth potential is, right? The reason why some of us are still like this is because that's the only mindset you have, is to be like this. But when you collaborate with people that can come to the table, help me somebody, that can come to the table, that can bounce off some creative activities in you. See, this is a thing. I can talk about Victoria Elevates all day long, but guess what? I'm always open for somebody to bring a new idea to me, right? One of the conversations I had yesterday was the fact that somebody was talking to me, and this person said, Victoria, you are amazing in this area, but have you thought about this area, adding it to what you do, because it's also a part of you. See, this is the thing. When you ain't around the right people that can talk to you, that can help you, that want to see you grow, because some people want to see you at the same place. They want to see you in the box, right? They don't want you out the box. They put the top on the box so that you can't get out the box. This is a time in the season when you need to be collaborating with people that want to see you grow. I'm telling you, come on now, my business friends out there. When I tell you that sometimes you got to get to the place where you see some things, right? See, that's the thing. Exactly. Everybody got something. Look, we got to understand what the everybody is in this season, y'all. Sometimes we're missing it. See, that's the right. You're so right. Sometimes the people that start off with you they're not going to be with you always. It's time for you to upgrade. Where is my friend? Where is Donnie? Donnie would say, it's time to, we're going all the way up. We're going all the way up. We can't go all the way up if we're still sticking around the same people that we were sticking around last year. Like Cheetah said, everyone starts at that race with you, isn't going to finish the race with you. Because guess what? When you're upgrading, that means that you transition. You got to have some new people on the playing field with you that can help you understand that what you were doing yesterday needs to be upgraded. That goes from the oh, can I say this? From the pulpit to the corner store. See, if you have a desire, see that picture that's behind me? If you have a desire to move on up, you got to put people in your position. You got to have people that is surrounding around you that has a mindset of moving forward, because where you are right now cannot hold you down. I'm here to tell you, it goes from the church house to your house. Stop sticking around people that cannot help encourage you and give you some new ideas. It doesn't change the vision. It doesn't change the end. What it does, it enhances the end. See, this is the thing. If you stay in the same place doing the same thing, then that's insanity. I'm here to tell you, I am not insane. Baby, I am so creative, because guess I am not going to stay. I'm not going to keep on whining about what I can't do. What I am going to do is I'm going to speak to the mountain. Ask the mountain, do you need another place to be? Because this is the thing. When you stop whining, you can get to grind. And I've said this before. It's time to grind and not whine. It's time to move. Stop allowing people to put their feet on you to cause you not to move to your next level. Change your associations. Can you put that down as an enhancement creativity tool? Change your surroundings. Change those that do. You don't have to walk away from them. You just have to change your mindset with dealing with them. I don't know who I'm talking to today, because this is totally not where I was going to go with this. But this is the thing. When you are understanding the process, when you understanding the process, thank you, Coach K. But and this is the whole true factor of the matter. When I begin to sit down and process what God has given to me as a creative thought about why we needed to build positive relationships, the thing that Coach K is saying right here, it was the end result. You got to put ourselves in a position. You can still register for the class, baby. Hey, we can bring you in the house. At the end of the day, allowing activities, allowing people to be in your place that can bounce off some things with you, because having positive people who are trying to gain understanding and wisdom, the Bible says for us to get that, right? If you want it, if you want it, here it is, baby. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. But at the end of the day, what are you really looking for? What is your anticipation for what you have to desire to do? Some of us do not have the right people in place with us that can provide us with the information that we need. We don't always have the individuals that is with us that understand how important we are. Right? We allow ourselves to get sucked into some things. The other third point that I want to make about what we talk about as a positive, when we're talking about collaboration versus conspiracy. And those of you that are sitting there watching today, I hope you will be a part of the collaboration versus conspiracy conference. It's coming in 2024. If you want to be a part of it, if you want to be one of the people that sit on the panel, baby, let me know, because it's getting ready to go out there. The date has been already set. But the third thing that we want to talk about as a pro when it comes to collaboration and conspiracy, this again goes from your house to the church house, around the corner from the pulpit. I just want to let you know that when you collaborate with the right people for the right person, for the right reason, because again, it goes back to intentions. When people have the right intentions, it will cause a shifting in the atmosphere, where it will increase productivity. See, the reason why some people don't understand how you got 100 members at your church, Pastor Sheena, and they still got 2, is because they haven't collaborated. They heard what God said, but they didn't do anything else with that. They collaborated and they paused. See, this is the thing. When you are collaborating with the right people, it will increase the value of where you're going. I don't know about you, but in 24, I'm trying to increase my revenues, not decrease them. That is mentally, spiritually, physically, financially, socially. I drop the mic and tell you, in every walk of your life, this is a time when you're collaborating with people with the right intentions, who have the right goals and objectives in their life, that they would help you increase your productivity. It's a reason why there's some groups that have 500 members in it, because they saw the value of it and they started brainstorming with the right person, with the administration of it, and it increased the productivity. You have to show the efficiency gains the collaborations can bring. You have to show that piece. You have to show what does it look like? How good is it for us to be able to experience some things? I don't know about you, my friends, but at the end of today, if you cannot gain anything else, ask yourself, can I show you the gains of collaborating with me can be? Can I be honest with you? A couple of years ago, I did the Coaches on Parade, another event that's coming in 2024. I'm telling you, in 2024, I had 3 events, excuse me, in 24. And God, you just heard that. Okay, but when I did the Coaches on Parade, I introduced coaches that some had been in business for 10, 15, 20 years, that nobody knew about them. But do you know what happened after the event? We brought coaches into the same arena and gave them the opportunity to express what they were, right? Do you know I can show you the gains of that event, how it brought attention to other areas that they were not aware of? See, teamwork allows individuals to leverage each other's strength. A part of the Coaches on Parade was to leverage all of the coaches on different levels to be able to see something different. Baby, Coach K, you said it. There must be evidence. In order for me to have a part of a collaboration with you, you got to show me what you're working with, baby. Show me what you're working with. Show me your numbers. Show me what you have strengths in. Show me what you can do to empower me the most. Because, baby, if you're on my team, I need you to be able to help me escalate to the next level. There's many people that you got in your corner, they can't help you escalate because they don't even believe in your dreams and visions. Allow yourself to have people that are believing in your dreams and your visions. Allow people to see where you are going in this season. It doesn't matter what business it is, from the church house to the corner store. I'm going to keep saying it because the church is a business. It's a business of God, right? So you got to understand that you got to have the right people that are in the business with you, who want to see you grow. They want to see you move to that next level. The reason why some of us are not is because we have the wrong people. We thought we'd add Sally Sue to the plate because Sally Sue went with me to high school and Sally Sue knew everything that I knew. Can I be honest with you? Some of the people that you have on your collaboration team are not people that can help you upgrade. They are people that can hold you. You got to understand what it looked like. You got to understand how it processes you. You got to understand what it brings to the table for you. See, this is the thing. You said it, Kay. It's a win-win situation. When we do that reciprocation and when we are in the process of working together, those relationships build on a stronger key. I'm telling you, you want to join the positive building class. I'm telling you, building positive relationships. We're going to talk about how effective it is when you put the right people in the right places with you, right? When you bring people to the table that can help increase your value. You got to understand, I got to see what you're working for. Encouraging effective communication and coordination is able to enhance the whole team's over productivity. When I bring people together, we can process and we can enhance what we're doing even the more. If we are collaborating. Collaboration means we're on the same page as far as making something happen intentionally that's going to prosper everybody that's connected. If you're connected to the vine, oh my God, if you're connected to the vine, I should see the root, the fruit that you are bearing. The reason why collaboration doesn't work from the pulpit to the corner store is because there's a broken branch on the tree that has no more life. Make sure that what that you have a connected with you is going to help you connect to the right vine. You say, okay, how is that possible? Let me encourage you. There's a way of possibilities. We're teaching it in our positive self-building course. How do you recognize those individuals, people, places, and things that can help you build a good relationship? There's characteristics that we look for positive relationships that are applied to ourselves. There's some people that can't work with you because they're what they're going for is not what you that's in your vein. There's things that you don't understand. I'm gonna take a 30-second break here, and I'm gonna show you some information that's coming forth, and then we're gonna get back into the negatives of collaboration. Work with a sister. Thank you. So those are some events that we've got coming up, and you want to take advantage of that. Please go on our website. Please make sure that you register for these events. We're looking for you to be a part of what we're getting ready to walk into. So now I want to take a few minutes and I want to talk about the negatives, because everything, I say this all the time, everything has a pro and a con to it, guys. When you're doing collaborations, one of the things that you got to make sure that you understand, one of the keys that when you are asking for people to collaborate with you, you need to make sure that they're on the same, do an interview, hunty. There's some people that I have been associated with that I wish I had interviewed them before I put them in my, let me just go over this way. Okay, let me go over this way. I wish I had interviewed them before associating them with something I was doing. Right? You got to make sure people have the right intentions. There is a doing the collaboration versus conspiracy conference. I'm going to be giving you a help sheet that's going to help you determine, is this a collaboration or is this something else? Because it doesn't mean that it's a negative, isn't it? In that it's a bad thing that you can't collaborate with everybody. It just means that you need to have some characteristics of what you're looking for people to collaborate with you. Right? Not everybody can collaborate with you, my friends. Let me say that one more. Can I say this one more and again? Not everybody is for collaborating with you. You have to determine what their person's skills are. And some of the negative things that can happen if you don't have the right people in position with you for collaboration is that there's a potential for conflict. Write that down. It's a potential for conflict. Let me say that again for the people in the back. If you are not collaborating with the right intentions, with the right people, then you have the possibilities of potential conflicts. And what does that look like? The collaborations may lead to conflicts arising from different opinions or approaches, right? Because if my goal is to bake 100 cookies and you don't even know how to bake one, why did I put you on my team? That's a conflict of interest. Right? If I'm planning a major gala, which we're planning for 2024, we're going to be doing the first we're going to be doing the first elevated, not tolerated gala, and I'm giving some hints, but we're going to be doing something different with that, because I want people that have done such an event to be a part of the team. But if you've never done anything but been to an event, but you don't know anything about planning an event, then it's going to be a conflict of interest. What you see as a positive is not going to help me, right? You got to make sure that when you are having people as a part of something, that the interest of it, opinions. When you say I like blue, and blue is my favorite color, it's the best color in the whole wide world, there's no other color like blue, and you said, oh no, it's not. Red is the most important part. That's a conflict. You're gonna want my event to be red, and I'm gonna want my event to be blue. That's a conflict of interest. So you got to make sure that you don't have potential conflicts, which is why I encourage you to interview before you give access to. Write that down. Interview before you give access, because every conversation, I say this in the coaching industry, every conversation provides us a consultation. When you start having conversations with people, it empowers you to have some vitality to what you're looking at. A lot of the reasons why we're not moving forward is because we got the wrong people. They got the wrong intentions. That conflict of interest is a big issue. It's now a part of a contract for me. Do you have other issues that will be a conflict of interest with dealing with me? As life coaches, as certified master life coaches, as certified coaches in general, you got to know that you can't say that you are a therapist, because you're not. That's a conflict of interest. A therapist is somebody I'm going to refer my clients to. They're not. That doesn't mean that you can't be a coach and a therapist. What I'm saying is, be careful how do you utilize certain words, right? Because it's important. Another situation that can cause us some confusion, some negativities in collaboration, is that of challenges, coordinating challenges. Discuss, because we need to discuss that what associates us as a team. We need to give guidance of effective communication tools, project management, and techniques of that sort. We need to be able to know how we're gonna communicate. Because baby, if I can't send you an email and you respond to it, baby, I ain't got time. I was waiting for. I'm gonna give you a prime example. I was waiting for some collaboration on a project, and the person was, I trusted them. I trusted the person. I really did, but there was no communication to let me know if they was moving forward or not. And if I got to send out 199 communications to you and you respond to none of them, that tells me that we're not working on the same page. But that goes back to determining what type of language that you set up when you are building a positive relationship. Because if you're building a positive relationship, that will not allow that it lessens the probability of lack of communication. My good friend Lisa Washington is a communication expert. So this is the thing. You got to understand who you're communicating with and how. There's some people that you can't send an email to, because they're not going to understand it, or they're going to be like me on some occasions, because I have like 12 different email accounts. I might miss one on today, but I need to move to the next level, right? The other thing is that you may have to understand that some people don't communicate like you do. Sometimes you got to pick up the phone and call me. If you say that it's raining outside and I think you need to take a look at that, I'm going to say, well, what does that have to do with it, Carrie? If you all the way in Timbuktu, if it's raining in Timbuktu, what they got to do with me? Again, sometimes you got to pick up the phone. You got to determine how you're going to communicate. The final thing that I want to talk about as far as the negative portions of communication is this. Decision making. Who in your collaboration has the final say? See, a lot of times we develop collaborations, we develop a program, we do put pieces in order, and we say, well, you're on my team, Kay, Carrie, and Cheetah is on my team, Pastor Sheena's on my team, but who makes the final decision? Right? When that can be a negative if that's not established in the beginning. You have to find a balance between collaboration and timely decisions. There's some things that you can delegate to other people that will enhance it, but who in your team has the final say? If I delegate something to you, that doesn't mean that you have the final say with it. It just means that I have the highest expectation of you giving me the prime examples of what I need. Doesn't mean that you make the final decision. It's sort of like with my event. I am the chief administrator of the event. I brought you in to help me develop it, but that doesn't mean you have the final say, baby. I got the final say because that's my name that's on that blank. See, at the end of the day, you have to be able to understand how effective communication and who's doing what, who's on first, who's on second, who's on third, how that really affects your program. Effective collaboration can provide us with the greatest experience at anything that we do. And that's from the pulpit to the corner store. If there's supposed to be a chief in charge and the chief ain't in charge, then he better make sure she it may he she, I said he she it, y'all heard me. You need to make sure that you have somebody that you can trust to make a sound decision. If you are making this, if you have people in place that cannot make effective decisions on your behalf, baby, I'm here to tell you, it's time to highball that spirit, as my daddy would say. It's time to move it over to the next level. It's time to see some things from a different perspective. It's time for you to know that balance. And this is the thing. Sometimes being a chief administrator doesn't mean always that I'm the one who's going to make the decision. I had a conversation with a gentleman on the phone the other day, and he was like, well, I want to do this with your company. Can you tell me about this with your company? And there's one thing that I'm smart about. There's when it comes to legal issues, I'm going to do my research, but I got a godson who is into it. So if I got a problem, I'm quick to say, hold up, wait a minute. My chief legal advisor, I'm going to have in this conversation. But does that mean that I'm not the chief person who's going to make the final decision? Right? You got to have people in place that's going to help you prosper in this journey, right? So again, when we're talking about collaboration versus conspiracy, go back and review some of the reasons why it's a good thing and why it can be a bad thing. The good things is that you can collaborate with good perspectives, have great brainstorming activities, but on the flip-flop side of that, you got to know who's making the final decisions. Look, guys, it's 45 minutes into it. I want to get 30 minutes, but I tend to want to wait for people to sign on. Can I tell you that tomorrow is even when Wednesday, we're going to be coming back tomorrow, and we're going to be talking about how and when to start doing that goal planning, how to know when it's time, to evaluate. Because in the process with everybody looking at 2024, and I know some of y'all be doing them resolutionists and stuff and all of that, I'm gonna need you to know how to do that in a more effective way. As your elevation coach, as your motivational coach, as your as your coach who wants to see you rise above anything and everything, I got to give you the tools to know how it's time for you to evaluate what your goals and objectives are for the coming year. God, we got to do it together. I just had I had to do it. I had an aha. Look, Kay, and those of you that are my fellow people hear me say this all the time. I don't usually use that phrase that much. I had an aha moment, but baby, I had an aha moment about 2 hours ago, and I'm getting ready to implement that, baby, before 2024. Stay tuned. You might miss it. But at the same token, tomorrow we're going to be talking about goal setting and how to know it's time to do that and what you need to have in place to do effective goal planning, because it's important. We're going to come with 3 points that we're going to bring to you. We're going to give you the pros and cons with that so that you can be ready for 2024. Because guess what, baby? It's time for us to do some things. It's time for us to move to the next level. Don't utilize the present circumstance as a tool to say that you can't move to your next. Because baby, I'm here to tell you that you're getting ready to go some places that you've never seen in 2024. Come back and be on time tomorrow with me. Join me at lunch at 12 right here on those elevation moments with me, because I want to elevate those positive mindsets inside of you, because baby, it's time for you to be empowered, embraced, and educated, to be elevated and not tolerated. We'll see you tomorrow at noon. Stay tuned.